apologies for the getting the meetings mixed up. I've got on my sheet, it literally says September 26 Pembury.
Yeah, that's where I read it from, but they're now telling me it's Donington. And I'm just looking for Damien Longatano at the moment. I've got his car, but I can't see him around. Here we go. Damien, good run again in the Westfield. It was like we've seen you do it so many times before. You can't quite stay with the those super sports cars at the front, but you always give everybody else a good run for their money.
Yeah, well, just the back section of the circuit he was pulling away, and need a bit more power behind it, I think, to get a bit more speed in it to keep up with him this next time.
Any plans for an upgrade? Because you've had this one, what, a couple of years now?
Save a bit more money, I think. Seem to be spending money everywhere else at the moment.
Yeah, indeed, and but we're just saying Donington next, so you've done 3 rounds out of Wales for the Welsh Championship, and then it's back to Pembrey in September, I think.
I look forward to Pembrey. The bigger engine cars, I think I can keep them honest there.
I think we're back up there with the trucks in October, so you'll probably have a round there as well, so we'll see you again then.
Yeah, will do.
Excellent, well done Damien, 3rd place. Right, back to you for a moment or two, Chaz.
Yep, we have the grid for the MGs then. This is going to be a wonderful little race, this. I'm very excited for this one. It's going to be 20 minutes long, and then we have a 25-minute Caterham race after that with all of the Caterhams together on track. William Sharp then lines up on pole position in the number 66 MGZR alongside Steve McDermott in car 77. Then it's Jack Woodcock in 24 alongside Mark Grant in car 46. Then we have Simon Kendrick in the F class. He's going to be in the Tiger Striped MGF ahead of Phil Walker in car 83. Then it's Mark Baker in car 53 alongside Paul Wisby in car number 8. He's going to be driving in the MGF VVC as it's listed. Then it's Jim Bainham in car 2, Chris Pollard in car 28, excuse me, ahead of David Amphlett in car 14, Andy Heitman in car 60. He's sharing that car with Fergus Campbell, who's going to be doing the second race later on at the end of the day. Then it's Nick Golar in car 12 ahead of Anthony Bate in number 70, Chris Millard in car 11, Greville Dare in 63, who had some issues unfortunately during qualifying, so I'll keep an eye out and see whether he is with us. He is on the grid, which is good. And we have Christopher Flukes in car 9, and at the back of the grid we have Alan Forster in the Maestro, and it didn't look like he was going to be out earlier on after he had an issue, but he has got it fixed and he is back on the grid for this one. So a great mix of machinery here from all sorts of different periods. We have, of course, the MG ZRs and the MGFs at the front, early sort of 2000s, those cars. And then you have the beautiful MGBs and the Maestros as well. One of the most retro looking touring cars I have ever seen. That number 39 especially at the back with the red and white livery and the blue stripes up the side as well. I absolutely love that car in that livery. It looks really cool. Really good bit of kit. Got the Gulf colours as well of car 63 being driven by Greville Dare. Good to see him out after he pulled over early in qualifying earlier on. A nice compact grid here at Thruxton. The green flag is waved at the back of the field, and the 15th race of the weekend is underway. Fantastic launch from the MGBs in comparison to the ZRs. Pole sitter gets a nightmare of a getaway there for William Sharp.
I think it was, is pole sitter on the outside here or on the inside?
On the inside, it was McDermott that got an absolute belter.
Yeah. And I think Sharp is down to about 3rd place, if not 4th, as they go down to the complex.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of pressure there from Mark Grant as well. And Woodcock getting through up into 2nd. Looks like Sharp has dropped down to 4th. The MGBs filter through near the back end of the field. Doesn't look like we've lost anybody as of yet, so everybody keeping it nice and tidy, but a great start for the guys at the very front, minus Sharp, who didn't get a clean getaway at all. As they head now down towards the back part of the circuit. Sharp looking very, very closely at trying to get past Mark Grant. least I believe it was Grant. It might have even been the 83 of Phil Walker that was up there with them. They come down through Church for the first time, and it's the 24 car of Woodcock in second place. Sharp looking very, very racy indeed, though. Climbing around all over the back of him as they come up towards us now. They're nearly side by side. I don't quite think he's got alongside him yet. He has actually later on the brakes down the inside, goes up into second place. Beautiful stuff from Sharp then. And McDermott leads them at the end of the first lap, and it is the 83 of Phil Walker that has gained a bunch of places on the opening lap. Car 46 that started fourth on the grid, Mark Grant, is way down the order. The orange MGZR properly dropping positions there. Where's he ended up at the end of the first lap? He's actually made a place back up now as he crosses the line, but he was down in 15th place. He goes ahead of Bate to go to 14th as he crosses the line, but nightmare first lap for Grant.
Where was Simon Kendrick? Where did he go through? The car 42.
Car 42, Kendrick ended up in 6th place. He started 5th.
Yeah, keep an eye on him. He's normally starts to improve as the race goes on.
He's second in his class at the moment as well, only to Baker. He was the fastest in his class in qualifying, as at the front Sharp is looking down the inside of McDermott as they go through Goodwood. It's not normally an overtaking opportunity, but if you're very, very brave, you can get it done. But Sharp has been fantastic already in just the opening 2 laps. You know, he had a poor start, and it's how you bounce back from it. Looks down the inside at Church, he's all over the curb. I think he maybe lost a bit of momentum there. We've got 4 classes as mentioned, A, B, F and Z. It's the Z class at the front, then the MGFs, which are the F class. Then we've got the A class cars, which are the MGBs, and then the Maestros have their own class, which is class B. So McDermott, Sharp, then Woodcock still in 3rd. The 83 of Walker started 6th on the grid, up to 4th. He's got the 2 leading MGFs behind him. MGB leader is car 2, being driven by Jim Bainham.
Yeah, Jim's Mr. MG. He's been in this club for many years now, and that car has done so many racing miles over the years and taken so many victories.
Well, it was apparently, in the information we were given, it was raced for the first time in 1976 by Jeff Gear, and it's been raced every year since then.
Yeah.
And it's done 24-hour races and everything. It's done over 400 races, over 120 wins, and I'm about to bring some bad news, and it is that the Maestro, the number 39 machine from the back of the field, Forster, is back in the pit lane, I'm afraid. It's a real shame. Not quite sure what the issue is, but it looks...
No, it's there's some fluid all over the front of it, so it looks like something's blown inside the bonnet, and it's poked it out through the top. In fact, steam coming out of it, so it's presumably cooling.
And Sharp has retaken the lead. Sharp has got ahead of McDermott. Now he's under pressure from Woodcock. It looks like the way that Sharp's got it done, he's lost McDermott a lot of momentum. He's now dropped back a little bit. There's a battle for the lead in the MGFs as well. We've got the 42 of Kendrick trying to go round Baker, but the dark blue car with the white sports stripes holds on. Or the go faster stripes, as I should correctly identify them. And he's certainly going faster at the moment than the 3rd placed MGF, car 8 of Wisby. In 3rd, he whizzes by. And then you've got the rather out of place number 60 car of Heitman, and he's sort of sandwiched between the 2 MGBs. It's not a bad place to be, but it's not exactly where he wants to be in terms of the race. You've then got Grant down the inside, has to get on the brakes through Allard to make sure he doesn't hit the MGB in front of him. We've got 2 of them that have dropped off the back of the field a little bit here at the moment, just waiting to come through. It's Flukes and Dare, but they're still right together as they get into the final couple of corners. Flukes and the MGB GT, actually they're both MGB GTs. 63 obviously in the Gulf colours, but the battle for the lead is getting very feisty once again now. It looks to me like Sharp has actually lost it on this lap, and McDermott's back in front again, so suddenly Sharp may be pushing a little bit too hard out in front on his own, dives down the inside as they go through Church. There's a bit of braking going on from McDermott, and now Woodcock's gone to his right hand side, tucks up behind Sharp into the club chicane. McDermott now looks back down the inside, but these guys don't need to fight behind Sharp because they know that he will drive away into the distance if given the chance, Will William. And the MGF battle changes round. The 42 machine of Kendrick goes ahead of Baker to take the class lead there. They were fighting behind Walker a little bit earlier, and I think Walker's back to
on him.
Yeah, indeed. Tiger does not change its stripes, it seems.
Just looking yesterday, we had son getting out of the car and mum taking over, and you mentioned Chris Flukes with the MGB. Well, that was raced by his daughter originally, Natalie Jarvis, and she now has given that over to Dad. So
that'll explain the sticker on the window.
We had son to mum yesterday, and we've got daughter to Dad today.
Well, that explains the sticker on the window. It does say Nat's dad on the window rather than actually Chris Flukes. So fair play to him. And we've had a change for position a bit further back, by the way.
Former pilot for BA.
Oh, nice. Not a bad job.
Yeah, but not going quite as quick as he used to.
Yeah, he's not quite. Almost breaking the sound barrier of the Atlantic. But we've got Flukes now behind Dare as they come into the chicane. Dare may be overdoing it a little bit on the curbs, but these guys may be a long way off the field, but they're having a really good dice between the pair of them, and that's what it's all about. They'll be absolutely loving it. Now, our leaders, by the way, who've just come back through Church Corner, Sharp has absolutely checked out here. He has really disappeared up the road from them because the two of them fighting behind, as I mentioned, holding one another up. McDermott goes back down the inside of Woodcock into the chicane, gets the job done, but they need to work together here and focus on going forward, because if they just battle amongst themselves, it's not going to do them any favours in the long run. Then we've got Kendrick still ahead of Baker. Oh no, he's missed a gear. Oh, Kendrick missed a gear.
Kendrick's got a major problem. Car's slowed drastically. He is going through the gearbox, but obviously couldn't find the right one. And I think he might be underway again now, but it certainly cost him dearly. Baker's gone way off in the distance, so Kendrick's got to do it all again. Jim Bainham still leads the MGBs through in Class A.
We had a nice little battle actually there between the number 12 of Golar and the number 46 of Grant. The two of them nearly came together here at the chicane, but they sorted it all out.
Nick Golar, another one that's been in the championship many years now.
Very strong at the moment. 11th position, although the cars actually, Grant and Amphlett around him are the ones that swap places on that lap. Golar actually stayed where he was. And Dare is now opening up the gap ahead of Flukes a bit further back, but there's soon going to be traffic for the leaders. A little puff of smoke out the back of the 63 machine as he came through the final chicane there. Not sure how much that is to worry about. Now the lead gap was 1.3 seconds last time round. There's no position change between the three of them here. I'm going to see what the gap comes out to this time. It's 1.358 seconds to be exact last time. This time it's 1.1 seconds. So maybe McDermott has thought now, right, I need to go after this guy. I need to get on with it.
It looked like a little bit of smoke coming from McDermott as well. So.
Oh, another gear change issue as well, by the way, for Kendrick. He's just done it again.
Whether he's got a problem as well, I don't know, but he's still on the pace for sure at the minute.
Here comes the battle from earlier. Golar still on the back of Grant, but Heitman is the car ahead of them in the ZRs, hoping not to get in the way of the MGB. Just around him. And here comes the Manistro, the only one remaining in the race, of Bate, car 70, making his way across the line to complete his 6th lap of the race. This is now lap 7 with 9.5 minutes left to go. Now the leaders coming up on traffic once again. Sharp still leads. McDermott's got his lights on, and again, yeah, I just saw a puff of smoke actually on his way up to the final chicane here. It wasn't a section where he was under the brakes either, so not quite sure what's caused that. He's gone a little bit deep into the chicane this time round, maybe just focusing on the traffic a bit. The gap was 1.1 seconds last time, maybe a little bit less than that actually here. Yeah, it's 1 second now, so he's only gained a tenth on that previous lap. It's the fastest lap of the race by McDermott, so that shows you how on the pace Sharp is as well. Woodcock was only 1/10 of a second off both of them, so that's really, really good pace from all of them. And again, Kendrick misses a gear twice. You could hear him spiking the revs. He can't get it. Maybe the gearbox or the clutch is going. Here comes the rest. As the number 2 of Bainham still leads his class, but he's surrounded by these pesky, what there would be classed in comparison to his car as boy racer MGZRs around him. Gotta love it though. The other MGB.
Kendrick again back under his own steam proper, so he's obviously got a selection problem when he has to change down for the chicane. So he needs to get it stuck in 3rd or 4th and just leave it.
Yeah, just bang it off the limiter around the whole circuit. Be a pretty entertaining way of approaching a lap. Now the leaders are spreading out a little bit more this time. Sharp has definitely opened the gap up to McDermott, but in all honesty, it's nothing for McDermott to worry about too much at this stage, because Woodcock's not really closing up to the back of him. Trying to keep it nice and tidy through the final chicane again. Let's see what it is this time. It was just over a second last time. I think it's a little bit more than that now. Yeah, 1.3, fastest lap of the race from Sharp. Woodcock is 1.5 seconds off the back of McDermott. Potential change in position here between one of the MGFs and the ZR. No. Baker decides he doesn't need to make that position, so he doesn't need to fight it. Here comes Kendrick. Let's listen out for the gear change. Or the lack of. Yep, he does it again. Still has that continuing problem. And here now is Heitman ahead of Grant. Good battle between those two. With Bainham and then Goller just behind them. We have Pollard and Amphlett just crossing the line. Millard just coming through now. The number 11. It's a good branding opportunity there, using the 2 1s as L's in the middle of the name Millard. I'll send him an invoice later. We've got Bate then just coming round as well.
Chris Millard, wily old character, he's been in motor racing a long time. Used to run the Porsche 924 Championship many years ago.
Oh, nice. Love a 924. I like a 944. Oh,
well, there used to be a series for both 944s and the 924s. When we're talking about probably 20 years ago.
Fair play. The leaders have closed up, by the way. Across the line, it was 1.3 seconds last time. McDermott now, as he does the fastest lap of the race, is within a second. It's only 6/10 now, and they've really cleared off from Woodcock. So it's McDermott making the big moves here. 1:33.1 he just did. Last lap from Sharp was a 1:33.8. And the position has changed just behind as well. Baker now ahead of Walker. Here's Kendrick again. Oh, Kendrick gets in gear this time. There we go. Lovely stuff. Right then, looks to me like Grant is now ahead of the number 60, but maybe not for long if he continues those antics. He way overdoes it as he gets to the chicane. Car bounces around all over the grass, but manages to continue. Who's this in the MGB? Absolutely flinging it around. That's Amphlett really attacking the curbs at the last few corners there. Great to see. Millard says, yeah, you like that, do you? Watch this. It does the same as well. Really going for it through there. Fantastic attacking driving, because you'd expect, with some of these older cars to be a bit more sort of cautious and aware of how fragile they can be, but these drivers, they're proper race cars and they're proper racing drivers, so they're just absolutely going for it. It's great to watch as our leaders come back to us again. Still Sharp leading McDermott. It looks like Sharp maybe starting to open up that gap a little bit again. Woodcock still in 3rd, but not able to advance on them as much as he'd like. But he's doing a good job holding station there for a podium position. The gap is now 0.8 of a second. It's a personal best from Sharp, but it's not the fastest lap of the race. 1:33.2 from him, 1:33.4 from McDermott, which explains the 0.2 of a second increase in the gap. Here comes Kendrick round the final corner. And again, not able to get it in gear, is he?
No, well, the last couple of laps, it seemed to have sorted itself. It's dropped in again now, but he's lost out of that place to the MGB.
Grant's still ahead of Gola. Sorry, ahead of Heitman and then Gola. And then still Bainham leading, but Pollard is the next car back. The gap is quite the distance at the moment. Well, actually, I think Pollard has lost out to Amphlett. He has. Pollard now right under pressure from Millard here. So we've got Pollard and Millard. Not sure what's happened to Pollard on that lap.
Oh, the car sounds okay as he goes through here, so he must have had a little moment because.
Oh yeah, his first sector was 10 seconds slower than the car in front.
Must
So
have had a spin or something because Millard is not making any further impression at the moment.
Leaders again coming back through, 2.5 minutes and a little bit more left to go of
now
the race.
They've got a slower car in front of them. That could affect them because they're going to get that slower car around about the chicane into the complex.
Now the lap times have come down again. Another personal best for Sharp and another fastest lap of the race for McDermott. Another 1:33.1. So he's really on the move.
They're both past the tail end up.
Nicely done. McDermott actually gets a better run though. Sharp held a tighter line and McDermott was able to really open the corner up as they come out of the complex then, out of Seagrave, down towards Noble. And McDermott is right in the slipstream now, so he's maybe going to stick with him, wait till they get out of church, and then try a manoeuvre there. So we can promise that something will definitely happen around here, although, to be fair, McDermott using a very different line there. He takes a weirdly wide entrance into Goodwood, but he's just going to try and get the slingshot out of the corner, I imagine, by the time they get down to church. He's just trying everything he can now. He knows he's got the slipstream, so he may as well use whatever line he wants, knowing that he's just going to get dragged along behind Sharp. Headlights ablaze. We've got Pollard flinging his MGB around the final corners. Here come those leaders back towards us now. They're well and truly cleared away from Woodcock at the moment. We're only going to get one more lap after this, so if he's going to get it done, he needs to get it done pronto, does McDermott. Sharp still leads him. What's the gap and what are the lap times looking like? 1:33.5 and a 1:33.4, so both of them pushing hard, not doing their personal bests that time round. Oh, we've got a car off, by the way. I think maybe 2 cars off as well. There's some very fresh tyre marks there. One of them is the leader in the MGF, so I'm just getting a feedback on the stream. Oh, and it's a huge moment for the number 53 of Baker. He's had a long slide round to the right before he gets to Noble, and he's ended up in the wheat field. I think he's managed to continue. He has, yeah, he's just come round into my view now. And his gap was that big. He's actually still leading his class as well from Kendrick, so he's got away with that as Baker. But it was a very scary moment before Noble. Very scary indeed.
Last lap board is out, by the way.
Cracking stuff, thank you. Right, our leaders are coming around Goodwood now, and they're still in the same order. Sharp leading McDermott. McDermott's going to be tucked in the slipstream. I'm not sure he's going to get that much of it. Just heading into church now, turning in through the apex, just clipping the exit curb, the runoff area. They've got a bit of traffic in front as well, which could be very focusing. McDermott's not close enough to make a move, I don't think. Sharp goes down the inside of the traffic. McDermott tries to be as late on the brakes as he dares. Keeps it tucked to the inside. Sharp takes a bit of a wider run through the chicane, but it's a great drive and a great win for William Sharp. Comes over to the pit wall. Very close to the pit wall indeed. Nearly hits the start-finish line man with the checkered flag there. Great stuff from those two though. McDermott second. Third goes the way of Woodcock. We wait to see the number 83 of Walker, who's had a bit of a lonely race at the moment, unfortunately for him. But a great start though. He started very well indeed. Got up to 3rd place on the first lap from 6th on the grid. He's now going to finish the race in 4th position. A bit further back, by the way, we've got Wisby being attacked by Grant. That's an MGF against the ZR. And Baker just comes into the final chicane now. He's going to take a win in the MGFs, just ahead of Kendrick, who's pushing very hard indeed. Baker, despite that moment out of Noble, manages to take the class win. Very well done indeed. And then here is that battle between Wisby and Grant. Grant gets a good run out the final corner. Is he going to beat him to the line? He's going to get close, but it's not going to be enough. Very, very good stuff. And we wait for the winner in the A class, which is going to be Bainham. Bate has crossed the line already, by the way, to win the B class. And here is the MGB of Bainham. Wins his class, finishing 11th overall. And when the field makes their way round, John will be ready to try and catch a few of them for our chat. I'm just going to quickly nip to the loo, and then we'll be back with you for the next race of the day, which is going to be one of the liveliest ones we'll see all weekend, where we get all 3 categories of Caterhams, the Sigmax, the Sigma 135s and 150s, all on track together. I'll be back with you in a few.
I can tell you there's about 28 of them in the assembly area, so it's going to be fairly exciting.
Oh, I think there'll be more than that, probably. We had about 20 from each class earlier.
Yeah, but don't forget, a lot went home yesterday.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I'll be back in a few.
Well, we got the first few cars into the Park Firm area, so we'll get a word with the first 3 and then hopefully all the class winners after that. And we'll see how we get on. So Will Sharp out of the car. Let's attack Will first then. Will, congratulations on the win. Wasn't the start that you wanted though.
No, but it's more fun when you start like that. Yeah, brilliant race. Steve, we've raced in ZRs together a few seasons, and he pushed me all the absolute way, and I was hanging on for dear life. The tyres were just... There was a stage in that where when the F1 driver said there's a cliff and everything, you don't normally get it in our kind of racing, but they went off the edge of it. But then they suddenly came back just enough at the end of that last lap to hold him back, so really delighted with the win.
Car was obviously running okay.
The car was running really, really well, so touch wood, it's going to be like that in the second race as well, and I'll get a better start.
Yeah, because you've got to do it all again yet.
Yeah, we have. I mean, that's the nice thing. You kind of get a woman under your belt, and you just want a good race now, because I'm not in the championship or anything. I'm just out here to have a good fun, and that's it.
Oh well, good luck, and hopefully we'll speak to you later on.
I hope we do. Cheers, mate.
Well done indeed. Second place then, Steve McDermott. Steve, a little bit of a puff of smoke we saw from the car, and then all of a sudden you seem to close the gap down again.
Yeah, hopefully it was nothing bad. But yeah, I got on it, but I'm new to Thruxton, so I knew it was going to take a little while to get to grips with it. And following Will, then you sort of get to grips pretty quick.
I'm going to say it's big and fast out there, isn't it?
It is fast. It's faster than I thought, and it's literally on the limit, 3/4 of the way round. And yeah, it is seat of your pants moment.
Nevertheless, you're there, second place, and I've got to do it again later.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll be one place further up the grid.
I reckon you can get him because he didn't have a particularly good start. So if you can do that again, we'll laugh.
That's it, and now I know the track, and I am quicker on 2 little spots than him that I've found, so if I get the chance, I'll be off.
Good luck anyway, we'll speak to you later on.
Cheers.
And I'm looking for third place man, Jack Wilcock, the 24 car, wherever that's gone. Jack, I was looking for your car, not you, but then you disappeared. So third place, Jack, happy with that?
Over the moon. It's only first season, so anything in the top 5 or 6, I can't really moan at all.
Bit different here at Thruxton. Obviously, it's very fast, very quick.
Yeah, it's a brave circuit. I mean, I hung on to the 2 guys for a while, and then they were gone. Nothing I could do. I thought keep it to the end and go again.
Well, a big learning curve for you this year, then, I guess, if it's your first year in the championship.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's been hard. There's only one track in the whole calendar I've ever driven before, so 90% of the time I'm learning and qualifying. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, congratulations anyway on third place today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you later on. And I think we're just going to release the cars, so we're probably not going to get a chance to talk to everybody else. Caterhams are still in the assembly area, and the cars are being released. I might get a chance to talk to my old mate Jim Bainham. So Jim, another win.
Yes. I sort of got away a bit there. I don't quite know how, but I got a good start, led in the first sequence of corners, and we, us MGBs, do get a little bit compromised by the slower ZRs, but they've all got their race to run, and we have to deal with them, and they have to deal with us. So I got away and had a bit of a steady old cruise, really.
Yeah, you look like you were enjoying it, really. I mean, you got away. I think that somebody was catching you just a little bit towards the closing stages, but it wasn't ever going to be a threat.
No, indeed. You don't intend to back off, but I think subconsciously, when you've got a 300-yard lead with 2 laps to go, I didn't consciously back off, but I suppose you must do, really.
Yeah, you do indeed, I'm sure, and you've got to do it all again later, though, Jim, because you've got 2 races this afternoon.
That's right, yes. So we'll have another go. Hopefully it stays dry, but no, it's good stuff. I think everyone enjoyed it. I think we had a good day. So yeah, more of the same in a short while.
I think most of the cars came back. That's the main thing. So it should be a good run for the second race.
Well, that's always important. We've had a bit of bad luck today. The grid numbers are a bit down. We've had all sorts of problems with COVID and damage and engines and goodness knows what else. But hey, no, we'll be out there. All the cars made it home, so hopefully they'll be out.
Well done, Jim. Anyway, congratulations on the class win, and again another win for the trusty old steed. Hopefully you can do it again later.
Well, we'll give it a go. Thanks, Tom.
Well done, Jim.